The first time I helped with the rent, it felt temporary. My mother had lost hours at work that winter. My sister was between jobs. The landlord had raised the price again, and everything seemed to pile up at the same time. I wired the money without much thought. They were grateful then. My mother called 3 times that week just to say thank you. After that, things settled into a rhythm I never really questioned. Some months, they covered it themselves. Some months they didn't quite make it and asked if I could bridge the gap. It never felt like a permanent arrangement. But over time, the messages started arriving earlier in the month. Then they stopped sounding like requests. More like reminders. Still, I told myself it was family. One afternoon in late spring, my phone rang while I was at my desk finishing emails. The screen showed my mother's name. I answered without looking up from the laptop. "Hi, Mom." No response. At first I thought the connection had dropped, but then I heard movement, chairs scraping lightly across a floor, the faint clink of dishes. Voices. My mother's voice came first, distant and relaxed. "He'll send it like always." Someone else laughed. "My sister. You don't even have to ask anymore." There was a third voice too, my uncle's. I stayed quiet. They still hadn't realized the call had connected. My mother spoke again, lower this time, like she was sharing something amusing. "I swear he'd rather pay than say no to us." Another laugh moved through the room. My sister said something I couldn't fully hear, and then my uncle replied, "Well, he owes the family anyway." My mother snorted. "Owes us? Please, he's the useless burden of the family. This is the one thing he's good for." More laughter. Then the line shifted, fabric brushing against the phone, and the call ended abruptly. I sat there with the silent screen still against my ear. The strange part was how ordinary the conversation had sounded. No anger, no cruelty sharpened for effect. Just casual certainty, like discussing the weather. For the rest of that afternoon I kept thinking about the word burden. I had always believed I was helping. That night I opened my bank app and looked at the transfer history. Month after month of small deposits that had gradually grown larger. Rent, utility gaps, occasional short-term help. Each one had seemed reasonable when it happened. Together they told a different story. I didn't call my mother back. The next 2 weeks passed quietly. Then, right on schedule, the message arrived. "Hey." My mother wrote, "Can you send the rent check this week? Landlord wants it early." No greeting, no explanation. Just the same rhythm we'd been following for years. I read the message twice. For a moment I considered mentioning the phone call, explaining what I had heard. But the truth was, I didn't need clarification. Their conversation had been clear enough. I typed a response. "I'm not sending rent anymore." 3 dots appeared almost immediately. "What do you mean? I can't keep covering it." The reply came faster this time. "Is something wrong?" I stared at the screen for a while before answering. "No. Just a change." The conversation paused there. Later that evening my sister texted me separately. "You okay? Mom said you're not helping this month." "I'm fine," I wrote back. There was a long gap before her next message. "That's going to cause problems here." I didn't respond. A few days passed. Then my phone rang again. My mother. I let it go to voicemail. The message she left sounded strained, though she tried to keep her voice light. "We're a little behind now. The landlord's getting involved. If you could just send something to cover this month, we'll figure out the rest." I listened to it once and set the phone down. The following week my uncle called. Then my sister again. Each conversation carried the same quiet urgency. Not anger yet, just confusion. Something in the system had stopped working. One evening my sister finally said what the others had been circling around. "You've helped us for years," she said carefully. "Why stop now?" I didn't mention the phone call. Instead I said the simplest thing I could. "I can't keep doing it." There was silence on the line. Across town, I imagined the apartment they all shared. The kitchen table where the conversation from that accidental call had happened. Eventually she sighed. Things might get complicated here. I know. A week later, my mother sent another message. The landlord had posted a formal notice on their door. They needed to meet with the property manager to work out a payment plan. For the first time in years, the problem had moved beyond our family. An actual deadline, an actual authority. I read the message and closed the phone. I didn't feel angry, just aware. For years I had believed helping them meant I was part of the family in a certain way. But listening to that accidental call had shown me something simpler. I had never really been part of the conversation. Only the solution to it.